the paranormal. Something that we have been gripped with for generations across the globe. People are looking at the unknown, trying to see what is not there, and trying to make sense of certain things that happen in the world. There are various different media that do look into the spiritual realm, whether it be online forums, whether it be books, whether it be stories in newspapers, whether it be games, whether it be videos, whether it be movies. We are looking here at two other games. We've already done one episode, and that was against Ghost Exile and Demonologist, and we're going to be putting two more back to. Now, this is based on my own opinion, of course. We all have our own opinion, our own feel of each game, so I do not hold it against anybody for having a different opinion. So today we'll be going against Ghost Exorcism Inc. and Ghost Watchers. Starting off with Ghost Exorcism Inc. Ghost Exorcism Inc. was formerly known as Ghost Hunters Core. It has had updates since I first played the game, and there has been some changes, some good, some bad. You do have, to begin with, this PDA. This PDA itself is available for you to use to click on and check your contracts, to select contracts, and we'll be going to look at the contracts a bit more in a moment. You do also have the ability here to change your look. However, it is limited to only presets. Presets of 3 female and 3 male. The only thing that you can do to customize to whatever you wish is the background of your picture on the board. So you can change that by having it as a white, cyan, green, cobalt blue, etc, etc. This is completely your choice. Now, if you want to change them, all you do is click on whatever avatar you wish to use, and that will instantly change you into that specific avatar, and back again, of course, if you wish to do so. At the trading facility, you do have this board where you can start trading if you wish to, or select contracts. If you select contracts, it just sends you straight back to your PDA, where you'll come up with the same screen as I mentioned beforehand. Now, with this, it'll give you active contracts that are available, which do swap over every so often. Now, in terms of locations, you only have 3 to start with. When it was Ghost Hunters Core beforehand, it did have multiple locations that you could go to. However, you are stuck at the basis with 3 locations to get you started at present. This is something that I think that I wish that they would bring back to the old style. However, that is just my opinion. I just like that variety. Now, if you do wish to get more locations, you can buy these locations, and you can buy them by going on to the Ghost Market. And this is also the same location where you can buy other equipment. Now, the price of the locations vary depending on the size of the map itself. Now, that could be from 1,000 all the way to 1,500 depending. You do have some other things here, like the crucifix, statue, and there is also a modified shotgun. There is other weapons that you can buy, but bear in mind that these weapons are based as well on levels that you are at. You can only buy them at a certain level, so you need to be careful. And if you are going to buy equipment, you cannot do it in the field. You need to buy it before you come into the mission itself. If you don't, then you cannot buy it whilst you're out there. Now, the base of operations, you can pick stuff up, you can interact with pretty much everything at the base. There's certain things that are static, which do not move, but mostly it is interactive. And you do have the ability to go around and have a little look at the equipment and try the equipment out to make sure everything is working fine for you whilst you're in the field. This is a good function which allows you that little bit of extra oomph in terms of your training to get you to where you want to be, and that's in the hunting the ghosts. Now, whilst you're on site, In the RV, which you take along with you, you do have this console. Like I said, you have to buy all your equipment prior to this at the base before you can bring it on site. Now, it will get stored here in the van, and then all you do is once you go to collect it, is collect the item by pressing spawn, and it appears here in this box. Now, that's a good function, but like I said, be warned, you can't buy any more. If you use it all up, you use it all up. You do have 4 different screens that are appearing in this van. You have one that's a basic objective. You also have one with extra objectives, should you so wish to take part in that, and it does give you extra money and extra experience if you do. You also have another screen here for pictures of ghosts that you take pictures of, and you also have another one here for cameras that you are using throughout the mission. Your equipment is all placed at the back here. All you do is collect it, walk around with them, and use them. Now, be very careful whilst you are in the area. If you press the wrong button, like I have done here, you can accidentally activate specific things which are, shall we say, important, and you need them. If you do that, you lose them. If you haven't bought them prior as a backup, then you're going to be in trouble. On your tablet, you do have a Ghostpedia where you can select the evidence that you think that the spirit is, and you've also got information here on each spirit and each piece of equipment that you need to use as a defense against the spirits. And it does tell you what you're likely to have, including that does tell you information about other locations if you wish to do it, and the ability whilst you're in game to buy these locations. This depends as well on whether you've got the money to do so. There is other missions that you can do, so you've got the normal hunt, you've got a rescue as well. This is something you have to level up to, and you do have other levels that you can improve with. In terms of the gameplay for the game, now one thing I do like about this game is the interactive ability. Now you do have to go searching for certain things, like for example cursed objects, and you have to bring these back to the van. Now if you don't do this, it can make life a little difficult for you. However, in doing this, it can also stir the ghost up. So you're kind of in trouble both ways. But however, certain pieces of equipment you do need to destroy in order to weaken the spirit. There is this one here, like I mentioned here, the camera screen, which I will show you now. And these are, this is interactive, and you can press on the buttons to cycle between each camera. And that depends on where these cameras are being deployed. The ghost will come out to hunt you. You have to be very careful with this. And if you have lingered in the area for too long, the spirit will try and get in the van. Now, I do like the atmosphere within the game. It does have the ability to give you a nice jump scare, and it does feel very eerie no matter where you are. The cemetery mission, for example, out of them all, is probably the most eeriest of the start missions. And do be warned, like I said, the ghosts will hunt you down. If they do, they can injure you, which to improve on that, to help you out, get back to the van as quickly as possible. Moving on to Ghost Watchers. You do have a training facility. In this facility itself, you do have the ability to walk around and interact to a degree with the location. The van does come back, and as you can see, the van is very similar to that of the other game. You do have quite a bit of nice detail in the training facility, including this area down here, which will show you the spirits that you have captured. As you capture these more down the line, they will add them to the stockpile, and it will tell you how many you've caught as well. Now, this is a really good function which does allow you to see what you have done and how you have improved, and it does help you to keep score as well. In the basis of operations at the training facility, you can also come across these which do help you to train and check your voice, because it is voice activated game, which you will need to be very careful what you're saying, where you're saying it, because the ghosts will know where you are if you talk too much in game. You can have it set as a push to talk, or you can have it set as open mic. If you have open mic, be warned, they will find you. Now, in the main menu, you do have the ability to alter and change your character. You do have 4 presets of male, 4 presets of female, just to get you started, and then you do have 2 more that you need to unlock as you go. 1 male, 1 female. You also have drones which you can buy, which do help you in your missions, and you do have other bits of equipment like braces to help you forward within your mission itself. Now the drones themselves, they do have different abilities depending on what one you buy, so they are useful down the line. Just be careful what one you're going with. There's also little braces, like I said, which have talismans in them to help you survive the hunt. In the mission select, you do have the ability to go straight onto public game or private. You can select the mission you're going for, and you can modify the game to whatever you feel, whether it be collection of ectoplasm, sanity, pentagrams, and you can change the difficulty as you see fit. This is something which I do like, because then it can modify your gameplay to just how mad you want to play and how scared you want to be. That is a good feature which I do like. You do have multiple locations that you can choose from, including a random button which will send you to just a ghost hunt somewhere. But I do like the fact that there is multiple locations. There's more than 3. There is a fair few that you can go to. Now, when you're in the RV and on site, you do have this, which is a screen similar to that of the other one from Exorcism Inc., which does tell you your objectives, and also it does tell you your objectives and does tell you your additional objectives to get more money. You do have a shop in this game itself, which is on site, so it's not too much of a problem. All you do is go in the shop, which is in the RV, buy your item itself, and then once you buy it, it will then appear just here. Now the pricing is actually not too bad on the game itself. I do quite like that. It's not too hefty, it's not too low either, just about right. All your equipment spawns here, including your Ouija board, and also you'll have voodoo dolls and various other pieces of equipment to capture and identify the spirit. Now there is a little PDA as well that you can use. Now this PDA itself will, depending on the readings that you get based on whatever evidence you find, you place it in here and it will narrow down what the spirit is potentially going to be. You do have an encyclopedia. You also have the ability to weaken the ghost, and to figure out how to do that, you just click on that button of weaken the ghost after you have selected the ghost that you're expected to be against. So once you do, you click on it. We've put this one here as a Jiangxi. We put it down as Yang, and then we place over here. It tells you just here how you can materialize the spirit, and then how you can fight it. To materialize the spirit, there is a specific item that is just outside the main door, which you have to upload your information to. Bear in mind, you have to get the information right. If you get the information wrong, it will just kick you out of the level, because you cannot re-add the information down. So get it right as you go. The encyclopedia here helps you to get this right by telling you about the entities themselves, and also about the equipment that you are going to be using against the entities. So just out here, you will see this. This is where you upload the data, and this is how you confirm the ghost, and it will materialize if you get the right information. Like I said, if you get the wrong one, it will just end the mission there, and you'll have to restart from scratch. Once you're in the game, there is a nice eerie atmosphere, this feeling of dread. You do have bits of equipment that you have to collect throughout your mission itself. Now these are cursed objects which you need to bring back to the van, and these help to fight the spirits. The atmosphere inside is rather chilling, which is good. It literally grips you into the action. Now, you do have things with the spirits where they will try to stop you at every single turn. Now, it could be that they'll close a door in your face and lock it, or it could be that they'll move a bit of furniture in an attempt to kill you. They will also grab you, pull you down the area, and they'll throw items at you to harm you. There is jump scares galore in this game, and that is something which I do love. Audio cues as well, and like I've mentioned before, be careful as you walk around, because just by opening your mouth and talking, it will alert the spirit of where you are. So they will then come looking for you. The area itself is very interactive. You can open pretty much every door. You can turn on lights. Now, if you do join the spirit in the afterlife, then you will be entitled to this little mini game. You do have the ability to open doors and interact, but you can't pick up anything during the game. But if you can chase down these little wisps, little orbs that run around, and you find 5 of them and collect 5, they're difficult to catch, I'll be honest with you. But when you do catch them, you will be brought back to life, assuming that your friend, if you are doing co-op, has not died. If they die, then guess what? The game's over. So how do I feel? Well, these two games, they are both good games in their own right, and I do love them. Ghost Exorcism Inc., with its update, as I mentioned beforehand, I do feel that some parts were good, and they did add good bits to it, but however, I do feel that they brought it down a little bit though with the lack of locations. It's the variety and the fact that you want to go around different places and not be stuck in 3 locations to get you started with. With Ghost Watchers, it's a case of you have the various locations already. There is ones that you do have to unlock, but mostly they're there, so you've got that variety. You do have a brilliant atmosphere in both games, which I do like. I do like that feeling of, well, you're on tenterhooks the whole time. I like the fact that the spirit will chase you down and hunt you if you're not quick enough and you're not careful enough. So for me, out of these two games, I am going to say, and I will go out on a limb and say Ghost Watchers does slightly beat Ghost Exorcism Inc. because of the fact of the variety and the interaction aspect. There is more to interact with in this game than there is with Ghost Exorcism Inc. Now, I hope you like this video. It is based on my own personal opinion, like I mentioned earlier on, and I am not in any way, shape or form impugning anybody else for their opinions. I like the opinions, and I like to hear opposing viewpoints. So, with this, I will see you in the next episode.